What's going on, guys? It's Rio, and today we're going to be doing my Buccaneer 3v3 setup and, power setup, gear, guide, all that good stuff. So let's hop into it. Before we start, I want to tell you Buccaneer is the worst 3v3 class. If you're against worse players, you can definitely exploit their the weaknesses of bad players and use Buccaneer. But I would say against against good players, though, they will be able to counter you pretty hard if they know what they're doing. So there's some very simple counters like Purge, because you have to get all the way up to get any value. So if they stay around Purge, your Buccaneer's not. But anyway, if I was gonna run Buccaneer, I would either run it to counter a bunch of melee units or to just destroy a bunch of musket units. I'd probably run Buccaneer Swash Privy if I was gonna run it, but overall, I would not highly recommend this class. The other four classes are definitely better for 3v3, and especially with Exeter, it's just gonna diminish your value because it's hard to get up there. But anyway, let's hop into the gear part of it. So, for the hat, the main one I use is the Manchu Tower hat. Obviously got this from Manchu. You can get the level 55 or 60 version. It does not really matter. It's good to have solid hits on Buccaneer, so you're gonna notice a lot of my gear is just a bunch of solid hits. So this is a super strike vicious. I love that. It's pretty self-explanatory, but yeah, I love that extra super strike and vicious charge. Another option, Triton's Chorus. If you're against a bunch of melee units, it's very, very good. But if you're against a bunch of musketeers, it's not going to be good at all. Helmet of Valor. If you want a Valor's Fortress, I don't personally recommend to run it in this slot, but if you want to, you can. And then you can also run Assassin. And then of course you could run heals, but I don't personally run any heals on my gear for 3v3. For my jacket, I have Arms of the Valiant. It's an extra assassin. Once again, super nice to have those solid hits. And assassin strikes can be absolutely devastating. So yeah. You could run a fort. You could run the chorus. Or you could run Vicious Charge Levy, but I personally prefer the Assassin Strike. I got this from, I think I was farming Rook, and I got that from there. I got this from Manchu. I got this from Kane, and I got this from the Minotaurs. The boots, Gladiators, Gaiters from the Empire bundle. It's an extra walk in darkness. I recommend everyone have at least one 5-turn hide, and I recommend just running it in the boot slot. There is the Dragon's heavy boots with slightly different stats, but either one works very, very well. And then you can also buy a bizarre version if you don't have either of these. But yeah, this I got from level 30 group chests, and this I got from the Empire bundle. For the weapon, now I will briefly touch on the fact that you can run hybrid. This guide is not for hybrid. I will mention a few things, and really, if you had hybrid, you would pretty much have the same stuff. It's just you would have more chains. I think hybrid can be pretty insane. I think hybrid could be better actually for 3v3, but for how I have this Buccaneer set up right now, he's not set up for hybrid, so I'm gonna make the gear on standard Buccaneer, but I actually think hybrid would be better for 3v3 if you are trying to play 3v3 with a Buccaneer. I mainly run this is in the crown shop for 6,000 crowns. It's a super charge, right? So it's a vicious charge pretty much. It gets the reduce, but it's a guaranteed super every time, so it can trigger blade storms. So very good for one-shotting people. This is good if you want some extra chains and you're not hybrid. You can run that. And then this, if you're against melee units who do not have much magic resist, you can run this, because the gloom, the groups, people are gonna be more grouped up in 3v3 just due to how many units there are. So an Assassin's Gloom can be very, very nice. For the Eyepatch, I recommend running Schemer's Eyepatch. I got this from Rook's Second Chance chest. This is the best. Unless you're hybrid, you can run a Strobing Blasts. But even if I was hybrid, to be honest, I still would maybe just run Assassin Strike, because Uncanny is definitely not going to be as important in like a 3v3 as it would be in a 1v1 if you're hybrid. You also can run a super strike Eyepatch that I don't have right now, but it's definitely not as good as the assassin. The assassin's better. For the totem, it's from Manchu Tower. More solid hits, obviously. Super strike and vicious charge. Super nice to have those solid hits in the 3v3. Be able to keep hitting and keep doing that massive damage. The other options, you can run an assassin strike with bloody charm. I got this from Lopan. You know, that's an option. And then you also could run a fort in the slot from Stormzilla Egg, or you can also get the Koi of Coco. I got this from Stormzilla, obviously. For the charm, I run two charms mainly. Either Sprocket Key or Kirin of the West. So either a fort or a purge. The purge can be really nice because since you're getting up in people's face, right? You're a Buccaneer. You will have opportunities to purge people since you're already up there. You do not really have to, you know, yeah, you're already up there, so he can be great with purge, but also having a fort is always nice. You can also run Moo Charm, but I really would not recommend that. But yeah, I like either having purge or fort, but you know, Moo Charm is always an option. I got purge from Bishop, and I got this fort from Jinzaburo. For the ring, I will run Ring of the 47. This I also got from Jinzaburo, unless I'm running the fort in my charm slot, because I only like to have one fort for 3v3s. Right, the rest of my forts should be on my, you know, mainly on my private tier. Now, if I am running a fort in this slot, I will go for the double hide and use Josie's ring. 2 walk in darkness, you know, especially for more inexperienced players, or really any player, you know, you can get in sticky situations, and that hide can be very good. But do watch out for scent pets, as they are extremely common in 3v3. And finally, yeah, by the way, I got this from Ike Bronco. And finally, let's move on to the pet. My pet is not perfect, alright? This pet I made like a year ago, and it's definitely not perfect, but it does have some very good stuff. Let's go over it. Scent 2, this is great if you're against a swashbuckler. Any scent pets can be very helpful because it can really stall out them being able to fog, obviously. The time warp, I would count that as a fail since it's not really that useful since it does not trigger that much outside of ranked. Rainbow Blessing is honestly great for any 3v3 pet. You know, even if it's not like the absolute perfect thing for Buck, it's definitely a nice group heal and group buff, and it can be great for when I'm trying to charge in. And if I get a Rainbow Bless, some extra stats are always nice. I got a backstab. More solid hits on your pet are great. So brutal charge and backstab are always welcome. Having a heal for late game, since I don't really carry any heals, could be nice. Or having a Kraken's Lament if I'm against some melee classes or whatever, that could also be nice. But I don't really need a perfect pet because I have elusive, Tide, and Relentless, which I'm about to talk about, and those are like insanely good. Elusive, it's not as needed. I have elusive 2 trained, like you should have, right? So making it elusive 3, so I have 50% dodge instead of 25% when I'm under half health. But turn the tide, giving me turn the tide 4 means that I have extra, I believe it's extra criticals. No, I have extra strength. I have 25% extra strength, and all the other stuff of Turn the Tide 3 when I'm under half health. So that's really nice. And then Relentless, absolutely needed. If you were hybrid, you would want to have Burst Fire and Relentless, but I'm not hybrid, so just that Relentless, you absolutely need that for all the chains. But yeah, Relentless and Turn the Tide, elusive are extremely good. Alright, so now let's go over my power setup and let me explain this to you. So here's what I got. I got Highland Charge in slot 1. As a Buccaneer, you want to be charging, and this is a whole team plus 100% haste. Extremely good when I'm trying to charge over. So if I pop this and Black Fog in like the same turn, the pressure is massive, alright? It helps me charge across the map, so I have that in slot 1 because that is ideally the most important thing for me to pull. I got Gunnery slot 2. If I want to go for some combos because I have to wait out a scent pet or this or that, or I have nothing really to do in a turn, I'll pop Gunnery. It's a, you know, it's an AoE, whatever. I got Mini Shield kind of like gunnery. If I don't have much to do, I can put it on a mini. And same with this Kraken's coils. You know, 10 turn buffs. If I do not have much to do, I'll put that on if I'm waiting to charge for whatever reason. I have my hide in slot 5. This is a little up there, but sometimes, you know, I might just need to hide myself and go charge someone. Or also just having it up there gives it a better chance for me to draw it when I need it. And to get in trouble early game, I have that hide. I have Shark's Fury slot 6. If I'm about to charge and I don't have much to do, I'll pop the Shark's Fury for more strength, obviously. Pretty self-explanatory. Slot 7, I have a fort. If I'm getting ready to charge up, you know, and I need a fort myself, I got the fort right there. Slot 8, I have my supercharge. This is just slightly better than the vicious charges because it's a guaranteed super, obviously. So it's definitely better. So I have that, and then I have vicious charge right after that because I'm usually gonna charge in there before I start using assassins and super strikes and stuff. So having the charge and also just, you know, for the reduce, having it ready is good to have up there. And then a vicious slot 9 thing, and then slot 10 I got an assassin. You know, I charge in there and I'm you know, getting ready to assassin people and whatnot. Having the assassin ready is good. Slot 11 I have reckless. I want to be able to pull this even if I'm not going to use it this early. But yeah, a great little trick you can do is pop zeal, and if they don't have zeal, your reckless will just hit over and over. It's very, very good, and I've used this to, like, you know, just kill a privateer before because they were really not expecting it. Slot 12, Super Strike, another solid hit. Good for getting some chains. Very nice. Purge in slot 13. Never know if they got a bunch of forts on and it's a good time to purge, you know, might as well use it, right? Got that purge ready. Slot 14, got another reduce, another vicious charge. Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Another solid hit. Another solid hit, another reduce, right? Just a bunch of reduces and solid hits to get a bunch of damage. And then hopefully, you know, most of the units will be dead by the time I get down to here. Walk into shadows. It's an extra hide. Once again, if I've already used this one and I'm, you know, in another sticky situation, I can use that. I have levy on slot 20. Definitely more of, you know, for late game. If I need another self shield, I can use that. Got backstab, slot 21, just another solid hit. Whale's might. It's not terribly useful because it's only 3 turns, but if I'm getting ready to chain, I can put that Whale's Might on. Now, one other thing that I will mention. Privateers, if you have the weapon, the crown shop weapon. Let me find it. Raiding tackle, right? The Valor's Rampart. This weapon goes off strength. So usually when I run my Buccaneer, I'll run Valor's Rampart. And if I am going to do that, I can move my whales up to the very front and just cheese and get a bunch of critical bombs with that. So yeah, that's a nice little thing. If you do want to run raiding tackle, Whale's Might, and any other strength buffs can help cheat that. Slot 23, rouse. There's my, you know, there's my heal for late game. Another shield for the late game. Another couple more solid hits for late game. Mini shield, and then my reaper. Yeah. You do not have many powers on Buccaneer. You're the least of anyone. So you know you want to make them work. And I got a bunch of hits. So now I also do want to quickly go over this before I forget what I have trained. How I use my 21 practice points. Make sure you do all your Zeke quests and get all 21 if you want to be properly trained. Now I haven't actually tough because I made this character when I was like in 2nd grade or so, right? I made this character like at the release of Pirate. And I never, you know, deleted it, right? This is actually my original account. My other 9 accounts, those are ones that I made more recently, but this is my original account. So I don't have the ideal stuff trained. Ideally, I'd have something like naturally spooky, but naturally tough is really not that bad. But naturally spooky is nice to help your, you know, your heals, your assassins, stuff like that. Naturally spooky is good on everyone, but I've naturally tough. It really does not matter. Do not stress over it. Let's see what I've trained. Okay, I have spooky 2 trained. Help my heals, help the assassin bleeding. If I run poison, you know, help that. Really nice to have. I have fast 2 trained. Yeah, it gives you more movement. Very, very important to have for PvP is having fast 2. For any class, but especially Buccaneer, since you're the class who's going to be charging around the map and stuff, having as much movement as you can to be able to reach people is very, very important. I got Witchhunter 1 trained because, you know, I'm not hybrid, so I have enough points to get that. It's witchhunter. If they're running soul shroud, or if they have a witchdoctor, the witchhunter will train in half that damage and potentially get you some good chains. I got elusive 2 trained, and then with my pet I get elusive 3, so obviously very nice. I have Relentless 1 trained from the hidden trainer, and by the way, witchhunters from the hidden trainer also. And then let's see, oh yeah, and then for the actual cards that I've trained, I have trained Walk in the Shadows, Sneak Attack, Rouse, Gunnery, and Valor Shield. Those are the powers I've actually trained. And then finally, I want to briefly go over the companions that I use. By the way, the order of these companions is just like based, like, don't pay attention to the order. Okay, let's see. Who would I use? So mainly, if I'm gonna be running a charging team, I'm gonna probably bring Goronado and Nausicaa on all 3 of my pirates, right? And then I'd have like Pete, you know. So if I'm running my like full charging team, I'll probably run something like Nausicaa, Pete, Goronado. Contessa's great. She's great at setting her up and pressuring her with this hidden backstab, pressuring the enemy team with hidden backstab. She's also great defensively if you need to defend against Swash with the Gallant Defense. People like, you know, the Haywire Angel and like Kobe can be great. First strike 3 units to defend against Swashbucklers are nice. Tang. I use this guy more for 2v2s when I'm running without a privateer, like no privateer 2v2s. But not only for 3v3. I don't know. Barnabas, he's a decent charging unit. He's free to play. Not bad if you need a free to play charging unit. Bonnie Ann, this is for if I'm running. Normally, if I'm running Buck, I'm gonna be running like charging units. But I have like Bonnie Ann and Exeter, like these musketeer units. If I'm not gonna be charging, if I'm not gonna be using charging units, and I want to have a strategy such as like my Buccaneer charges in, and then I have like a musket line behind him. You know, I might use Bonnie Ann and Exeter for that.
Yes, Captain.
I don't know, Temujin, he's fine. He's got, you know, Venge 3, some good chains, Reduce, Super Strike, great. Yeah, that's about it for who I'd use. But mainly, if I was gonna be running my charging team, I would run Nausicaa, Pete, and Coronado. Yeah. So yeah, that's just a briefly over my companions. Yeah. Alright, so that is it for this video. Thank you guys for stopping by. If you subscribe and you leave a like, I would appreciate that so much. There's only one more 3v3 guy that'll be for Swashbuckler, and hopefully they will be fixing the fort glitch soon, and I can make 44 guides for all the classes. But anyway, that's it for this video. Thank you so much for watching, and peace.